And everything should be back. So, Diablo Season 15 PDR. We already made our initial impression video, in case you missed it. Because the initial impression was... yeah. The best way to explain it is like... not bad. Not good. Kind of interesting. But we really have to see what BlizzCon announcement will be. I'm not sure if Blizzard is cutting themselves in their own flesh again, because they obviously promised us, like, okay, mouse, could you please connect? They promised us a banger BlizzCon announcement, and they better be having that coming. Okay, first things first, combat hit flash, reduce strobing. Yeah, okay, he saved all these controls. Usually he has a problem with that. Let's delete a character because we've imported all the characters to the PDR, and let's make a new character. So we're going to start today with a Warlock, doing some Warlock shenanigans. This is Hellfire stuff. Don't think Twitch updated the game yet. Thank you for reminding me. I completely forget that I actually have to swap games on Twitch. You know, YouTube is so much easier. You still have to finish the game's expansion. Wait, on the PDR or on the normal? Like, on the normal, you obviously have to, like, if you haven't done it yet, yes, you have to do it. Warlock is busted. So today we're going to look at Soul Splinters, what you can do with Soul Splinters, among other shenanigans. So on the PDR, first things first, go to Mrak, apply all boosts. Boom! And I'm suddenly an all-powerful Warlock. We're going to teleport to Temis. So first things first, let's pull up the PTR notes. This is important for testing. We know that the Warlock got tremendously buffed. Open our stash here. Fully. Then we're gonna get Obolds. Thank you very much. We're gonna get ourselves the seasonal items. So these are the Soul Splinters, right? And interestingly enough, we can already leaderboard's actually not online, right? We have now all these beautiful Soul Splinters, and they're actually crazy. Here, this one gives you 100% increased damage, but you lose 100% critical strike chance. Yeah. Who cares? You get double your damage. If you play damage over time build, guess what? Crit chance doesn't matter. So there's a Warlock damage over time. There's a Necro damage over time build that literally just gets double damage. Right? From one single splinter. One splinter in, double damage. Done. Just like that. Well, also, my favorite one is this here. We're getting 35 attack speed and critical strike chance. Also, just like that. So now, first things first. Let's put all our caches away. Temper. All the ones we haven't used yet. Can you have more than one of the same splinters equipped? No. See, like, I could take the Greater Splinter of Anguish here, and then I could try to equip the Legendary Splinter of Anguish, and it actually doesn't work. But the old one doesn't work, see? So you can equip them, but it overwrites like an aspect the older one. Certain art, what happened to Beast of Reincarnation? We just finished the story. We just wrapped the playthrough up, and now we're Diabloing. So there's your answer. You can equip it, but it doesn't do it, right? Now we need unique charms. No. Runes? Might as well get like several set of runes because you're gonna have to probably look that up. So our runes are gonna put in one as well. It's like the things you gotta do on PDR to be like somewhat efficient. Otherwise, you're just going to end up having a clusterfuck of shit in your inventory. Okay, now let's get ourselves a few mythics, right, ladies and gentlemen? The crazy part is you're getting everything, right? So this is one inventory mythics. Then we're gonna stash some away. And then we're getting the second inventory mythics as well. One inventory mythics. Yeah, there's so many. And we get the second inventory mythics and a third. What I have to do is we'll have to sort the new ones because there are new mythics in case you missed it. Okay, now we have all of them. Finally. So, okay, let's sort the new ones. We got the Henry's Perquisition. We got Squire's Blouse, Lyric's Crown, Stone of Jordan. We had... What are the new mythics all called again? They're called Legacy, right? Legacy Uniques, yeah. Lyric's Crown, Nemesis Bracers. Nemesis. These. Then we got Ariox. I didn't actually get that because I can't wield it. Okay. We got Henry's, we got Ingium. There it is. We got the Furnace. Furnace is that one. And Messerschmitt's Reaver, but that one is not in. So these are like the new ones, right? Like Squire's Blouse, which says, while not taking damage, you take up to 50% and deal up to 65% more damage. Let's just not take damage, huh? Chad? Ta-da. Mike, thank you for the 3 months of support. Mike, very good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. This is very, very promising. Let me tell you that. And then we get ourselves the... So what we got now is the Elegy. This one was changed. You can actually see that we can pull up the change. Need the patch notes at the bottom. So Elegy used to now says Blazing Scream is an Arcfiend skill, deals increased damage, and Blazing Scream gains Skull Splitter version at no cost, and the lesser demon skulls deal the same damage as the main skull. So you pretty much have like this skill here, right? Blazing Scream. And you're gonna have Blazing Scream shoots out smaller, lesser demon skulls that seek enemies and deal damage. So you get the main damage of 100k, and then you get the off damage of 21k. Which means that without the thingy, you'd be sitting here and shoot these out, right, with the tiny demons, and then you just overwhelm the opponent. If we're then using Elegy, you kind of equalize the damage. So now you're big and your small dudes are doing the same damage. It's actually really intriguing when you think about it. So that's crazy already. Let's see if I use this. 53k, and the tiny ones are doing like see this 11, 12k. So these are the tiny ones. So like 4 times the damage of the tiny ones. If you now swap over, right, we're doing like the 14k, 16k, but everyone is doing the same damage, right? So that's amazing. And in order to make this even stronger, you have the Inferno Homunculus. So we got here, my Blazing Scream is now an Arcfiend skill, and then it says your Arcfiend skills deal more damage. So not only does your Blazing Scream deal 65% more damage, it also deals 143% more damage. Huh. And then every skill has like lesser demon upgrades, right? So we get this one here that says casting any Arcfiend skill activates all their lesser demon upgrades for free with a 200% longer duration. Which is kind of intriguing. So everything that has to do with lesser demon here, right? Rampage now smashes your lesser demons. Casting Rampage compelled your lesser demon skills to generate Wrath. Or here the Inferno Breast gets lesser demon volatility. We get here, like, right? And anything that has to do with lesser demon gets activated. Wonder if it actually activates the Skull Splitter for free. That one it doesn't do. No, actually it does do that. You could have the Skull Splitter rotating around you and still spew out the tiny skulls. It's actually intriguing. It's less damage though, right? But it's kind of funny that it actually does that. And obviously Skull Splitter spam is more damage. Oh, is the sound louder than usual? Yes, but that hasn't anything to do with the PDR. That's just me having the sound louder than usual. I just put it away. So alone these 2 items are a 2 times damage increase. Just like that. What is very interesting is that you have life on kill. Okay, you see life on kill there, right? Guess what? If one of these skulls dissipates, that's life on kill. How can we prove that? Very simple. You have Temerity, okay? Temerity is an item that says, effects that heal you beyond X grant you a barrier. So if I now put on the Temerity, and I'm not healing on a normal cast, right? So I spam these out, and they die. Look at this. That's interesting, isn't it? So we kill them, and that is healing me. Minimally. But since we spam so much, it goes crazy. Now comes the even more interesting part. You got Bombardment. Right? Bombardment smashes down demons around you. Okay? And if I now go for Endless Barrage, it is still a lesser demon skill. So if I now choose to go for these demons that bombard around me, they die. It's a bug that, no, you're killing these demons logic. There is, for example, something that says... demon. Each hit with demonology skills, no. Wild demon form, no. There's one that says killing at least 30 enemies or demons within 10 seconds increases your damage. So killing I am killing demons, right? I am killing them. So it's not a bug. It's an intended way how this actually works. Now, it does feel like a bug, but let me assure you, it is not. Mr. SHL, thank you for rating your community over. Greetings to you and your friends. Appreciation. Let's reroll this one here into armor, probably. There was armor. Luckily, we have infinite resources, so it really doesn't matter. I can just reroll as much as I want, right? You think you did more damage when the blazing stream was rotating around you? Oh, the blazing stream rotating around you has a bigger multiplier, right? So you have to see that like the normal throwing has only 245% damage, okay? That's only 245% damage. So it's 120k hit when I like now hit, right? 512, something in that direction. So that's that. However, if I now go for the Blazing Scream Rotation variant, it's a 1,400% bonus damage. So already, just with this one here active, we're going to do more damage per rotation, right? The rotation is insane. Now the question is, what is more efficient, my friend? Is it more efficient to have this rotation happening and just literally just refreshing it and then just hoping that it passively deals the damage, right? While the tiny skulls come out? Or would it be better to spam it in this version? Now, the interesting part is, obviously, if I now have it rotating around me, okay? If I make this rotate around me, then I can spam other skills, right? So I could focus on having this up around me, and then I can focus on other skills. The problem is that the skull seems to sometimes vanish randomly, which it shouldn't. So right now, see, like, now the skull vanished. I think it's when it impacts the wall. See, when it impacts the wall, it actually vanishes every single time. So that makes the rotation a bit weak, because you don't want it to, like, here, it's again a wall vanisher. And that has to do with elegy. So if I remove elegy now and have this rotate, see? It's a bug that's being fixed. Just like as an FY, like, you can't have this rotate around you. You just got to be aware that this might happen. Okay, what are we going to remove? Blazing Stream, Life on Kill, Willpower. I mean, the Life on Kill has to stay, so we should probably remove the Willpower for the critical strike damage. Or the maximum life, to be honest, because you'll require the maximum life. And then on the offhand, we got Resource, Chance to Restore Primary Resource, and the Weapon Damage. And that's a horrible one if I've ever seen one. Both of these need crit chance. And the interesting part is that usually for this build, it's quite tricky to get attack speed because you're struggling to get the right items. But that ain't going to be true anymore because of the... Wait, can I do lucky hit chance for vulnerable, actually? Is lucky hit chance for vulnerable not in anymore? No, it is still in. That might be worth it to just actually go for this, because I then don't have to care anymore for, like, I don't need the crit chance. Why don't I need the crit chance? Oh, that's actually really simple. So you don't need the crit chance because I'm just going to take Ring of Starless Skies, right? For my resource cost, Starless, here. There's no jeweler here. No, there's a jeweler here. You're going to take this specific bad boy. Doing fire damage. Now we're going to take that one. And now you can use this. 35% attack speed and 35% and 35% crit chance. Look at this. Boom. 50% crit chance. That's it. Not a single item has to be good. I mean, my Ring of Starless Skies has Vuln damage, Willpower, and lastly here, what does it have? It has a life regeneration. So we're going to keep the life regeneration out for life on kill or maximum life or crit damage probably. So we're not even looking for critical strike chance, which we would usually do. But since we do not need critical strike chance anymore, we can just skip over that. It's so convenient, right? See? And now suddenly, with this item on and the 30% resource cost increase, but still being able to put that out, see, like, we're sitting at immense damage. So this tooltip went up to 1 million, 1.3 easily, right? Or if I just summon the barrage, we're also sitting, like, at high damages already, just like that. Without our actual scaler. I'm still not sure how well this will work with this one because I'm, like, walls impacted, but I'm not sure how it's going to be with, like, pillars, right? Because what if I go here through a table? Does the table work? Okay, so the table works, right? This is good. So walls are a hard no-no. Tables are okay. It's the same thing to keep in mind for the Blazing Scream build. Now the best thing about Bombardment is you can cast this while walking. Look at this, chat. So I'm going to activate this stutter step, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't have to stand still a single time, right? Then we reactivate the Blazing Scream, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's insane, isn't it? And now you get to ask yourself, what other skills am I going to add to the fray? For example, you could take Dark Prison together with weakening enemies, then Fortify and the Aura. And now watch this, which actually makes this super insane. So I can do Blazing Scream, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I can use Dark Prison and see I'm walking. Do you see this? Do you see this? How stupid this is? Like, I don't have to stand still for anything anymore as the Warlock. Everything is just happening automatic. No slowdown. Question, though, would be now, how do we travel? Easiest way would be Rampage. So if you choose Rampage, and then you get the lesser demon upgrades for free, you would go for Demonic Smash. The problem is that it would cost Dominance, and we don't want it to cost Dominance. So that would technically be the easiest way to travel, but we have Dominance as a damage scaler, so we can't actually use this one. Means we're going to find other sources of travel. Now let's see what other Blazing Scream stuff is out there. So there is one more. There's a ring. It says Blazing Scream leaves sigil of subversion, shadow or lava trails behind. You deal 104% increased abyss or hellfire skill damage to enemies on sigil of subversion trails. This one ring could give you 104% bonus damage. I don't think that's good. So this one seems like it's the better choice, but I think it's actually the worst choice because we can do something better with a ring. We'll get to that in a bit. Okay, we get our weapon, we get this, we get the ring. So these are fitting. Now we need our main damage scaler. And that would be Moloch's Beating Flame. So this one... Wait, waifu calling? Yeah. Okay. Message you often. So we got Moloch's Beating Flame, which gives us more damage the more volatility we got going on. And since we're going to go for 6 Hellfire skill, it's going to be insane. The maximum life is going to get re-rolled into crit damage or bust. Thank you, test server, for allowing me to do this. Another step is mobility like the Apocalypse build. The problem is I don't have the... I can't do that currently. Okay, we got this one. And now we need to be volatile. That would be our demon form. So that's the next 15 points. This is, by the way, how you make builds, in case you ever wondered. Step by step, right? So we get our demon form. This one got buffed. So base, it's now 8%. So if I pull all these points out right now, correct? Then its base, it's 7.1%. And if I actually activate it, if I pump it, it's already sitting at 8.9. On the live server, this is currently sitting at 6.4. That's 2.5% more damage per skill cast. Nasty. And we can use a second one of these, Chan. Right? So we can now say, killing enemies absorbs a soul for 15 seconds. What I wonder is, if killing my tiny demons counts for that buff as well. Right? See, this is here, damage dealt and taken increased. See, killing my tiny demons counts. If I now do this, look at that. Look at how it stacks up. That's 70 times 5% more damage. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like, right? You get why this is so stupid, right? I mean, and we're just getting started. So this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Let's get ourselves seals. So with the seals, I could use the seal of the Golden Epiphany, or I could use the seal of the Diamond Mind. Now, not sure which one we're going to choose here. That one needs to go away. The set seals like don't matter, so we can just trash them all for now. So let me get this and then trash it all. I mean, if I need more seals, right, you can get infinite seals. And we need charms. I almost made the mistake again. So what is the mistake? You cannot get set charms if you're not in Torment. Yeah, I know, it sounds stupid, right? You actually need to be in Torment here to get set charms. So don't open that box unless you're in Torment 12. I know, bullshit. What the fuckery? But it is what it is. So, where were we stuck? Seals. So this is unique charms, set charms. You know, all these set charms. You really did just give me only the standard ones again? Interesting. Wait, did I open the wrong box? I did this already once. Unique charms? Why did you give me the normal ones? Is this buggeroonade? Where are you green? Oh, it's a player online. Steven, good to see you there. Thank you for gifting that one membership away. Steven, that's very kind of you. Good morning. There's always something to do in Diablo. I mean, yes, sir, there is always something to do in Diablo, but at some point you also, you know, need a break. Talisman items. Okay. Fields, set charms. Yeah, for some reason he gave me only the weird set charms. What is PTR? PTR is the public test realm, the patch test realm, the realm where things are being tested. In this case, it is the season 15. In this case, it is season 15. Finally he gives me the right charms. Told you this is weirdly bugged. See, this is what we're looking for. Okay, so we need this with Hellfire skills. And I'm gonna keep it with Occult too. Abyss, Abyss, Abyss. Wow, not a single one. That one is Occult. Hellfire. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna use two of these. Now begins the dreadful part, because you literally have to reroll these now until we hit Hellfire. The question is rather which two sets are we going to actually play, or if we're even going to play two sets, right? We might as well just play one set. This is something we have to figure out now. Because Abaddon's Flash is insane, right? The bonus it gives us is mental. But I'm not sure if it's going to be better than the other one. We need Demonology or Hellfire. We are neither seeing Demonology nor Hellfire. Thank you very much. Just came back to Diablo 2 after 2 seasons. Try Paladin. Don't try Paladin! Brother! Fancrease. I like, by the love of God, everything that's holy and mighty, don't do Paladin right now. If you want to have a good time, get some Warlock, have some fun, right? Please don't do Paladin. It's not a good experience. So what do I think about Paladin? It's amazing. It's fun. Just not right now. Okay? I'm really trying to save you here from going gray early. Okay? And if you don't care about like much progress, you can just play Paladin. Okay, so this is bonus ranks. We're sitting at 40 ranks suddenly. Atulius, you are in the vertical stream. There's also the horizontal stream. That being said, YouTube just recently updated their vertical horizontal shenanigans. So I'll be having, like, should be able to also twist your phone in short format soon. Okay, if I activate this, and then I activate that, and this, we're suddenly sitting at the millions, really easy. The problem is right now, see, that's billions also. We just need to take care of resource currently, and we need to take care that our dude here doesn't hit walls. Thing is, if I play it this way, I need a spammable skill, because right now I don't have a spammable skill, right? We're currently using bombardment. You know what? If we play it like this, I should probably go for Profane Sentinel. Why Profane Sentinel? Well, Profane Sentinel is a really, really dastardly damaging skill. And it can be used to do this. Bam! I-beam! 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 Pretty good. But if I do use this, then I need an Anathema of the Primes as a charm. Class uniques, unique charms. And yes, there are mythical charms now, which you're most likely not going to get during this season, but they exist. Okay, what do we got? Do we have a Hellbound, Hemet, Nemesis, Squirts? Squirts does exist as a charm. That is so interesting. Probably not going to see it. I mean, oh, Scepter of the Three. I need that. Buckran's Talisman as a charm is really good. T-Bolt's Wool needs to stay as well. Temerity needs to stay. Yeah, the rest is expandable. Then I'm going to take my Anathema of the Primes. We're going to have to turn this into a charm. How about the Season 15 unique theme? There is no Season 15 theme yet. That's an Anathema of the Prime charm. If I use that, I lose my set here. Right? Let's destroy the rest. Okay. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. That allows me to use my I-beam for Wrath. The problem is still I need Wrath Restoration, right? Because currently I go here, I activate this, that, here, I can get this pumping, but as you notice, I don't have resource. Right? Now, how am I actually getting this much resource back if my standard resource generation is only 10? Right? Like, if we could trigger Rampage, which we can now, since we're jumping around, we're going to have our... See, I'm going to jump. And now our Wrath here is generating its... Like, my Bombardment is generating its own Wrath. Because this one says that Arcfiend skill, casting Rampage compelled your lesser demon skills to generate 1 Wrath per hit for 15 seconds. So that means that our... This one is going to generate Wrath in itself. This one is going to generate Wrath in itself. So that's already like easy cheesy Wrath generation. I just exist and I'm getting Wrath, right? And then I can just laser away with my I-beam, which actually hits for like hundreds of billions of damage right now. At least we have 5 skill points left over. It could be spent on a sigil skill, but we don't actually need a sigil skill right now. Because we're not playing with that. I have to keep these 5 skill points. we're going to do is we're going to spend our points. By the way, if you hold down control, right, you can spend instantly more points, just as a little tip. Sadly, it doesn't work in the reverse. Not sure why Blizzard in their almighty wisdom decided that that's a thing, right? They're like, hey, so in the one direction you can do it, but in the other direction you can't do it. Because get fucked, nerd. Okay, what we're going to put in there. So you're going to consider we have a skill called Wrath here. Wrath says more crit damage, and every crit generates a Wrath. Which means if I now summon this, right, I get more resource than ever. Now I have this going, then I have that going, and we get like, you know, I can just spam this away. So the goal is to be able to just spam this away forever. Right? That doesn't work so well right now. Problem is that we have the Ring of Starless Skies, which should reduce your Wrath cost by 50%, right? But if I now shoot this, it costs me 30 Wrath to use, correct? And then it should cost less than 30 Wrath. So if I now activate this here 5 times, this is ticking. This should now cost 15. But does it actually cost 15 when you do that? Let's spam that empty. Actually, it does cost 15. Okay, so it works in that regard. So I was never sure if it did actually do what it does. Therefore, we now need more resource generation. So how are we going to get a resource generation into this build? We get the crit giving us resource, right? We're going to do dynamism here. Dynamism is important. That's our crazy damage gain. What does dynamism do? It gives us dominance. And with Death Aura, we could get even more dominance. A lot more dominance. What about using T-Bolts? The problem with T-Bolts here right now is that you want Temerity, because Temerity gives you a barrier. Now, I'm not entirely sure if we require Temerity for the way how I'm planning to play the build, because we're not actually going to spam skills much, right? It's activate damage over time, and then, see, like, we're burning ourselves, as you notice here, since the demon form is active. So we need something that works against this. We already have something that works against this, which is going to be our Fortify. So if we have Fortify running here, right, we have some healing happening and we're good. That means we technically don't need Temerity. But practically it would still be better to actually have some Temerity going on. Especially if you're then going for, where's here? We got Igni. And then we're going to put Quay on. Right? Lucky Hit Chance will feel best on Resource Restoration. Lucky Hit Chance can do some. The problem with Lucky Hit Chance is the Crown of Lucian. Because for ultimate damage, you kind of would like to play this item here. The Crown. Because that gives you, each time you use a skill with a primary resource cost, gain 9% damage. Amazing. You could technically use Lyric's Crown, but Lyric's Crown doesn't actually work the way it should work. So using that one is currently not an option. An easiest way would probably be just using Iconic, right? Just using Harlequin Crest. I have to look into that if we want to use Harlequin Crest. First and foremost, I need a better ring so I can do my dominance thingy, because right now we have 52 dominance and there's a ring that can upgrade us to 92 dominance. And this is why I'm saying I don't like the Sigil of Subversion thingy. So you have this ring here right now. This ring would give you 104% bonus damage, right? But if I take a ring and put dominance, put bonus dominance on it, I get 120% bonus damage, which is surprisingly better, right? I did the math one single time. It's more. For this, I'd now have to get like a ring that at least has one greater affix, so I can work around with that. What about a high regen with resource gen sources on ring crafts? It is possible. Also, resource cost reduction is also very possible. So not two things that are not happening. Oh, these are kind of sad rings. The easiest way would be Tybalt's Will, but using Tybalt's Will is probably making us not tanky enough. So I'm a bit reluctant to work in that direction. Why are all these rings so horrible? Banana phone, banana phone. Ding dong. Come on, give me something I can work with. Wrath every 10 kills is probably the worst stat I've ever seen. Like, Wrath every 10 kills? Yeah, how about no? Okay, let's do the fire damage and see if I can craft something out of this. Or chaotic reroll the defensive ones until they finally become something that's not defensive. I'm going to chaotic reroll the resource one until they become something offensive. It also didn't work. The vulnerable damage multiplier. I mean, it's still a shitty ring, but at least it's less shitty than before. I would like to have anything that's like critical strike damagey. I would take attack speed, I guess. Could take resource generation, but again, that seems awfully awkward to actually put that on. Take resource cost reduction, also awkward to put on. Look at that, like how much, if this was like real money and not just fake PDR money, I'd be severely sad. But I would have also never rerolled that often. So we're going to take this ring here now, and then we're going to put something on. So this is going to get the dominance aspect. So aspect of authority. 40 more dominance, right? Means in our case that we're getting another 120% bonus damage. That's pretty good, I would say. Who doesn't want to have 120% bonus damage, right? Now, we could technically reduce our resource cost by another 50%, right? But for that, we'd have to spend dominance, and I don't have dominance to spend. The new items are on the PTR. Yes, sir. The new items are on the PTR. We're going to take Demonic Spicules, because that's going to shred our opponents. Good. Which leads us into the Fathomless board. Have any new videos? Oh, tons, my friend. We just recently made a video on how to make builds, where we literally break down the process step by step, how to actually make builds. Goes over every single step, right? How do you choose a skill? How do you scale a skill? How do you choose supportive skills for the skill? That kind of stuff. It's very good for people that always wanted to make their own thingy. We're going to Hellforge. But do I need Hellforge? Because it says skilled empowered by volatility deal more damage. However, since my skill is now an Arc Fiend skill, I could also take Arc Fiend. Well, Hellforge gives us... how much bonus damage? Hellforge gives us 12% for Hellfire skills. It's actually stronger in that regard. Right? Get that. We get Wrath here. Actually, we're playing Eliminator, I think, in the other builds. And probably Wrath has to go out. Eliminator has to go in. Eliminator's too powerful. Then you need Ichor Carapace. Ichor Carapace is for bonus armor. Where is Ichor Carapace? Actually, Ichor Carapace comes there. And then we're gonna like, so usually I would now take Demonologist. Demonologist gives us 12.5 plus 17. But you also could play Arc Fiend at 6.2. You could play Attrition for the 20. Really worth it. Optimally, I would make my way now to the bonus life here. Perfect. So with 200 Paragon points, I can actually tap everything I need to tap. That brings me here with all these in. Get the Temerity that we still need to reroll into something meaningful. That's the problem. Like, I can't just rush into anything right now. I can't just rush to do a pit tier. You really need to do the whole character. But I think it's going to be rather crazy what you're going to see. Because I'm going to be able to do pit tiers so fast. It's not even going to be funny anymore. My question isn't stays if I should spam Blazing Scream or if I should rotate Blazing Scream. So I really get to see how easy it's going to get ruined by the area. That plays like a hardcore role. Necro needs buffing and reworking. I mean, there's a reason why I'm focused on Warlock Cameron and not on anything else. Because I'll be honest with you, Necro is super in the dumpster. It's not a little bit in the dumpster. It's terribly bad in the dumpster. Like beyond belief dumpster. And it's not fun. Now the question is, what's the final upgrade? What's the final Soul Splinter we're going to take? So as you can see, we get a Soul Splinter here for bonus damage. We get a Soul Splinter for bonus attack speed and crit chance. And then we also have a Soul Splinter that gives us 40% more life, which is also more damage. Or it would just give us 40% damage reduction. Just like that. Right? Just like that. However, we lose 30% movement speed. So now I feel like we're forced to get a pair of boots that at least has some movement speed going on, right? We're not getting boots with at least some movement speed. They'd be horrible. This one has a greater affix to willpower, so we can work with that. Focus reroll on the movement speed shenanigan. I'm gonna reroll that out until we have some. How rare will the new gems be? You will get them in low rarity super quick. I would reckon that we also get them from the seasonal journey leaderboard shenanigan. So I do not believe the slightest that we're going to have a hard time getting that. Now we're going to put a resistance on this, and we're going to make the resistance be fire resistance. Preferable in a max roll. Why fire resistance? Because we need anti-burn. Okay? Sounds a bit weird, but since we are a Warlock, since we are burning ourselves, getting like a resistance, a specific one, is actually really useful. The max health is additive, not multiplicative. Merrick, that is correct. But I don't think it's actually additive. I think it multiplies from the base health value. So if you have 50,000 HP and you get 40% more HP, you would actually expect a big bonus. But it's kind of like only a 9% bonus. And that like really shows. So I don't think it's actually the additive problem. It's like more that it only multiplies up the base health. That would probably be the best explanation. Oh god, I didn't expect to hit the 31 this quick. The moment you're actually hitting your temper super early, but you're just clicking over it. You know what should happen? When you actually hit one greater affix, it should ask you, do you really want to reroll? You know what? That would be useful. So yeah, sadly, it's not the high value that you would expect it to be. Still good. So this 50% movement speed. Now we can move. Thing is, now we are forced to play the Undying aspect, sadly. Because we can't put this on an amulet. So Undying says casting heals you. And therefore, I would always have Barrier. Right? I have PDR for feedbacks, but actually very simple, Matty B, because we need to give feedback on things that are absolutely broken, like the actual killing enemies absorbs a soul for 15 seconds. Each soul increases your damage by 5%. This one should not scale with what the Warlock does. Right? I mean, I can now go in with like my half-cooked equipment here into a pit 100. So I don't have like my chest, I don't have my helmet, I don't have my gloves, right? I only have like some of the things done haphazardly. Then I just activate this, jump through, get my things here cooking, and the amount of damage we're gonna do is going to be absolutely outrageous, especially because my damage just scales up, right? Like if I have my blazing stream going on around me, it's insane. The problem is, since these are rooms here, my blazing stream is insane, but it just vanishes. See, like here, these pillars, it instantly vanishes. Blazing stream in the LEG version is actually questionable. So I can already just go through this, right, without much of a hassle, which is crazy. XP for Helltide stays. Yes, I tested that already. XP for Helltide is actually still in. By the way, that reminds me, though, we need to take our soul shard. Thank you very much. We need to, our mercenary for here. So we can get him leveled up. And probably him, too. Problem is that we obviously haven't taken care of our resource in any way right now, so we would have to see that we could put in a lucky hit for resource. I don't want to put in a lucky hit for resource. What I think about right now is just go for resource cost reduction to, like, because we get 50% resource cost reduction on 42 Wrath cost. If I now reduce the resource even more, right? If I go for a bunch of resource tempers, will this build beat Barb? Barb get even stronger. But Necker can uniquely make use of the Black Soulstone. I don't, again, think that the Black Soulstone will actually, like this, get into the main game. I think it would be crazy. Right? But if the Black Soulstone goes like this into completion, then everything that actually summons lesser demons will be insane. So every Warlock build that works with demon summoning is going to be absolutely crazy. Which also makes me think if an Army of the Dead build on Necro couldn't be crazy, because Army of the Dead should also make this work. I have to try that out. Come on, give me the resource cost reduction. So 2 tempers actually work instantly against your ring, right? So now we have this resource cost reduction pumping. And we could get the resource cost reduction on this one as well if I wanted to. Let's actually get it on all three. Seems a bit extra, but I kind of want to see where this ends up to. Come on, give me the max roll. No, you want it. No, you want it. So this brings it from 43 down to 27 so far. That's a lot. So down to 26. And since the Ring of Starless Skies reduces it then to 13, that is quite significant, right? So you're going to go for jump. See, my jump also expensive, 54, technically. This one goes down. See, now I can just use my resource, technically, without much. So one single Wrath per second would actually be enough to make this work already, right? And see, like, suddenly we're sitting at the trillions of damage. Look at this, Chan. That's just trillions. Look at that. Look at the damage output. Everything. See, it stacks for 140 times. I wouldn't even need a resource per second to make this work, right? Problem is, if we then swap Blazing Scream over to the actual Blazing Scream version, to this one. Right, that's a nasty spam. And I wonder if this is better than... going for the homunculus version. Because look at the stacks. Look at the stacks. I can stack this 200 times, chat. Look at that. It's almost 300 stacks. 300 stacks is 300 times 5% more damage. Right? The problem is that if I don't take Orbital Scream, look at this. Orbital Scream is at 434 million base, where this one is only a 5 million base. So now it's obviously the big question, right? If I maximize my damage by 10% per cast, you know? What would I rather want to see? I think the Shock Sorcerer will be reusable. It's partially nerfed, partially still good. Like, if I just summon it around me, I can really just go from pack to pack to pack, and everything will just die. With the caveat of having to resummon it, obviously. Like, whenever I go through a doorway, I'd have to resummon my Blazing Scream. Which I guess is, like, somewhat okay. Why do I have to resummon it? Because hitting the wall makes it fizzle out. I mean, once that is fixed, it's going to be, like, probably one of the best builds in the game. So, like, this, I'm currently burning through too many resources if I jump. Launcher is only available via Steam. Look at this skull just doing trillions of damage as it passes through everyone. Like in this level, for example, it's not a problem because as long as I'm not hitting the walls, right? He's just going insane. As soon as I hit the walls, get a problem. I wonder is if I could really work without Temerity. Thing is that temerity just makes things convenient. No? Before the new league, I mean, it depends on what I have to do in the next couple of days. If we're going to have some PoE too, revisiting, right? But I first got to do quite some stuff on the PDR here. So the PDR is only there for a limited time. So we might as well use it for a limited time. So that is that. Son of Jordan? Nah, Son of Jordan currently doesn't work and I can't use the second ring attack. So that's not an option. Right? I mean, I can simply fix my resource now. So we're going to have to get a chest piece. Let me get a chest piece here. Chest. Kung Fu fighting. So that has willpower, fire resistance. Can actually take one with fire resistance. No, this one has maximum life. Perfect. And we're going to re-roll the poison resistance into... There was Wrath Generation. I just rolled over it because I'm a professional, and this is what professionals do. They roll over the one thing that they require because I'm ridiculous otherwise. Wonder after doing this, can I focus re-roll on the... Let me do it, right? We're gonna take the 4 Wrath. We're gonna temper it on maximum life. So with that, we should already be good off. And if we then also get it on the helmet, it should be good. These season will depend on Mythic Seals. Every season has depended on Mythic Seals, but yes. So they sadly nerfed our aspect here. While wielding a two-handed weapon, gain 30% damage reduction. That one is nerfed, right? I think it should be... I mean, no, I don't think it should be nerfed. Everyone was playing it because it's the best, and it should be the best. Now, we on top have, though, the 40% damage reduction here, so that's quite nice. I mean, we're sitting at a 1 million toughness already without a problem. What other rune combo did I play on the Blazing Scream build? That's a very good question. We played the Warlock Dark Prison skill. See, this is very intriguing because I always had to play the Dark Prison skill in a way that I could actually use it. But I don't need the Dark Prison skill anymore to be played like this. So now I have the freedom to do whatever I want to do. I can reduce cooldowns. I can do the Barbarian War Cry, right? I could get skill ranks, which is kind of cool if I want to. You could work with Challenging Shout, Movement Speed. In this case, actually, Movement Speed might be the best. But here, this is like the Rogue's Dark Shroud. Then you just take the Sur, and you just make sure that you have the Rogue's Dark Shroud up at any given point. Because that's more damage reduction, and that's actually insane as well. So now with the bonus resource, let's see how that feels. And now I have this rotating around us. I'm jumping, have this rotating around me, impact, everything dies. The best part is I can, while I'm jumping, summon my dudes around me. Right, so I can jump, and while I'm jumping, I can summon the barrage so that on landing, my barrage is fully maxed out. That's crazy, isn't it? While we're doing this, like, we're pretty much continuously have our Blazing Screams summon us demons that do massive damage. We can jump, right? Like all the good things of every single build active, and we're again not being slowed down. And if we need massive damage, okay, I can also just do this. I-beam, 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 I-beam. See, this is just 10 trillion damage, just like that. Right, our biggest damage right now is the Blazing Scream, right, when it just rotates around. if I can then use it. Because again, like on contact with anything, it just fizzles out currently. I did try a Blazing Scream spam build, but I gotta say that spamming the Blazing Scream was not worth it. Because like the damage it multiplies up is just not as cool as the rotation. Schneider, what does the Ring of Royal Grandeur do? What have I missed? See, like, this area here now is perfect because my thing, and, like, look at the boss now. Just combust. I want to see this against Mephisto when we have it, like, fully stacked out. Daniel, we can't use the Dominance version of Profane Sentinel. That would be terrible because our Dominance gives us 92 times 3% more damage. Okay, Daniel? So Dominance is 92 times 3. That's 276% damage. Try to match that. Crown of Lucian gives you 58% more damage. Sure, you could use the Dominance board, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I have played around with Crown of Lucian, don't get me wrong. Right now in the current version here right now, Harlequin Crest would do more than the Crown of Lucian. As much as I would like to use the Crown of Lucian, it is just not worth it. Okay? I've tried, trust me. Okay, I'm going to take this pair of gloves, and I'm going to try to re-roll the core skill into not a core skill. Try to re-roll the resistance into critical damage multiplier. That's willpower. You know what? This one looks good. Not as good as I'd like it to be, but I can now re-roll the shadow damage multiplier into crit damage multiplier. And then we can be happy for now. Whatever gives me crit damage multiplier. Good. And we can do crit damage. Mädels! Komm mal runter! The multiplier. Ihr seid schon angezogen? Zähne geputzt? Zähne geputzt, Aria? Und waschen bitte. Genau. Und dann bitte nicht den ganzen Morgen Fernsehen gucken, okay? Ihr könnt auch gerne ein bisschen gucken, aber reguliert euch selber. Dankeschön. So, that's volatility. The helmet we're going to keep right now just with damage reduction as well. Diabolical armor, because that's a good one. And we have everything we kind of need. I mean, optimally, we would put the healing on the amulet, but we can't do that. So we're good here. Hit 110. We also test the Shadow Surfer Necro. Which Shadow Surfer Necro? Oh, we should spend our... I mean, damage over time on Necro did actually get buffed due to one single of the Soul Splinters, so that's a good thing. Right? Like how amazing you can just go through things. Crazy part is that this will not get like less when we... I wonder if we should leave the... Profane Sentinel I-Beam at the door and spam a basic skill. Why a basic skill? Well, so the intriguing part here right now is that we're getting these stacks here that I talked about earlier, right? So we're getting these demonic stacks for casting things, and each of these demonic stacks is 5% more damage. So if you now spam a basic skill, you would get like more of this. Again, actually absolutely crazy. I mean, the highest I've seen right now is 300 stacks. Hmm. He's down. There. I mean, nothing right now can take like the full extent of my damage because everything just dies too fast. Without you, I can't just jump into the Tormenteers. It's a bit stupid. So I gotta actually work my way here through the Tormenteers so we are at something where it matters. So we're gonna quickly just jump and bump through these. Oh, by the way, I've completely forgot to masterwork my weapon. Oops. Oopsie. Should probably masterwork that. But see, like, you're doing that pit level with... Oh, God. Can someone tell me to please upgrade my thingy in a second, Chan? Like, with unupgraded weapons, you shouldn't be doing this. Right? You shouldn't be able to get these thingies done. And here we are. It's well, I find it worth playing. Warlock has been insane since it has spawned. Anyone saying Warlock wasn't good is just like has no clue how to play it. Well, I'm sorry to tell you that. Warlock has been a demon, has continued being a demon, and has had many interesting builds. Now, obviously, on top of like Warlock having been always good, we finally get the mobility patch that makes Warlock the actual speed demon that it should be. Because a lot of the skills that were formerly not cast on move are now cast on move. And I think this shows a shift in Diablo in general, what the developers are doing. Because I feel like a lot of skills could profit from this. Because being static while casting is probably the worst feeling in every RPG, right? I gotta say this is like something that Path of Exile does exceptionally well, right? We got mobility-based casting where pretty much every skill in Path of Exile can be cast as you're zooming around. And I think that is something that Diablo needs to emulate. It's not optional. You were unable to do Mephisto in Season 13. Yes, Mephisto is absolutely doable. Yeah. I mean, even without like having now everything the way I want it to be, let me show you. To me show you. Keep in mind all glyphs are 150 as well. You can get all your glyphs 120, 130 easy. This is like, and the glyphs from 130 to 120 is another 20% damage in Burrito. It's not that like being glyphs 150 is not big of a difference. I mean, I have a similar build like this on live server and it slaps as hard as, and that build actually get buffed. So you're gonna activate everything here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're gonna go for the rotating blazing scream. So like, look at the damage. Look at this. Look at that. This is, again, not even full damage, right? Boom. That's second phase. Gonna deactivate my demon form. Bop, bop, bop. Here. Look at the damage. 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 Look at the damage rising. So that 500 trillion damage there, Chad? Yeah. So that was Mephisto. And that wasn't even with the strongest laser beam available. Because technically, if I could play without the Ring of Starless Skies, I could make this even stronger because right now we get our I-beam, and our I-beam is already plenty powerful. You've seen it just do like 500 trillion damage, right? You could technically play the Sentinel. Technically play the Seal of the Offenen. And the Seal of the Offenen gives our thing a 351% bonus damage. So let's just quickly go here. So go here. So right, summon everything, get our stack stacking, make sure that our stuff is going up. We're summoning demons beyond belief. So that's good damage, right? And then I-beam, I-beam, I-beam. 200 trillion, 200 trillion, 400 trillion. Do. We just need like more. So these 300 trillion hits. That's for my I-beam. I'm pretty sure we could get this up to quintillion. Disable those useless numbers. A terrible advice, sir, especially when you're damage testing. You know? Terrible advice. And realistically, when you have everything set up, should you just disable the damage numbers and enjoy the game? Absolutely. When you're trying to test if everything is working as it should, definitely not. Harlequin. I know you can get. Yeah.
Goodbye. It has been a pleasure.
Never disable numbers. Bye-bye dopamine. Nah. And right now we're going to see if I can actually bring my Profane Sentinel to hit for a quintillion. Because that was 300 trillion. So if we could have it then go for whatever is after trillions. Echo drops is low. Echo drops has always been low, which is really, really sad. Is it worse to hop along for the season now, or is it best to wait? I mean, like, you can still have fun with Season 14. Season 14 has been really good. Definitely still an option. One needs resource cost reduction. On my pants, I have to re-roll the armor into Wrath per second. You can roll gem strength on this item? Since when? Can pants not get Wrath per second anymore? No chest piece can get Wrath per second, right? We know that. Helmets used to be able to get Wrath per second, but can they not get that anymore? No boots can get Wrath per second. I gotta re-roll the willpower of my boots. For Wrath. Can now roll gem strength on all targetable items. Interesting. But useless. Looking for quadrillion after trillion, yeah. Oh shit, I forget to upgrade. Now we're finally gonna do it. Now we're finally gonna do it, chat. Where's my... Thank you, sir. Lyrics? Yeah, but lyrics is not working as intended, so let's ignore lyrics for now. By the way, again, like one of these bugs that I don't know how it could slip through Blizzard's attention, right, Chad? So LG stops like on impacting a wall. The blazing screen goes away. Right? But that's a bug. So blazing screen is not supposed to do that. I though seriously wonder how that could have again slipped through Blizzard's attention. Susanoo build looks good with a mount. It's terribly weak. I've seen the Susanoo build, don't get me wrong. The problem is that the strength of Hellfire is really from the Demon Form ulti and with the infinite scaling damage. So if you then go for the Susanoo build, you're not doing yourself a favor. You're literally just, for style points, weakening yourself. I mean, sure, it's not terribly terrible, but still. So like how fast he died. Okay, if I now press on Seal the Offenen. Cult resistance needs to be crit.
Welcome to the Isles. What do you bring?
Don't think you can afford playing this with Temerity and then without See, if you don't have like the you can, if you don't have the Ring of Starless, I might be having my I-beam do like significant damage. But I literally have to look out for how much damage I deal in a short amount of time. Like how many skills I summon, right? Make this a boss dummy. Why a boss dummy? It's for turning my stacks better into things. I can't really keep this one here up properly. Get like the stacks here. It's just better with Starless. And literally, this is like similar to a build we played last season, just like stronger now. So let's see, can we do like 130, 140, all that kind of stuff easily? Go. We also have a better version now of the... Also have a better version now, ladies and gentlemen, of the Apocalypse build, because Apocalypse is also quicker. Thing is, though, why would you play Apocalypse when you can also do this? However, due to like the summoning of these lesser demons, right, also in the Apocalypse build, you could boost the Apocalypse build too. It's kind of interesting. So we're gonna have to make that one as well, because like every Warlock build is being boosted by this.
Curse this place. I'm being followed.
This is 125. Like 125 shouldn't be easy, right? 125 should be difficult. My demon form is off. My demon form is back on. Let's get lasered. Oh, how's Necro doing at PDR? Well, the things that were good are still good, but not better, right? I mean, it's easier with Necro now to reach your breakpoints also, because you simply, as a Necro, get like bonus attack speed and that kind of stuff. So that's obviously nice. But that's also about it. You know? The Necro did not see any meaningful changes where you're like, wow, I really have a reason why I should play Necro now. Because that's the biggest problem. Like, you literally don't have a reason to play Necro. There's no like, damn, these changes are like so meaningful that I feel like I should definitely whip out the Necro again. That's the boss here. And that was the boss there. 350 trillion. The crazy part is, so yes, you can do a lot of damage with the Apocalypse, but literally this does 100 to 200 trillion per hit. Right? Oh, I don't know, like, what the Necro class designer is doing right now. If he's dead, half asleep, if he's, like, if he passed out, if, like, whatever is happening, I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna push this right now to 130 around. Maybe, should we do it higher, chat? Like, I just want to see, like, with the setup here, no items transfigured, not looking for the perfect rolls and so on, how far could we, like, quickly take this? I'm not looking to push it all the way. That's not like my interest here right now. I just literally want to see what can we achieve, pretty much, right? They'll buff Necro day one. You think that, but the problem is that we as the Necro players have given Blizzard ample feedback. You know, it's not like we like you have to imagine that every single season we're writing a multi-page feedback doc to Blizzard on each class. Okay? Every single season, this is happening. And yet we're missing meaningful changes to a lot of the classes. That means either the feedback is being ignored on some classes, because on others it's being listened to, which is the crazy part. So it's like for Warlock, for example, they listen to a lot of things. For Barbarian, they listen to a lot. For Druid as well. So each class obviously has a class lead at Blizzard, right? And I just have to assume that the Necro class lead is terrible at his job. And I really don't mean to be mean to anyone just trying to do their job. But if trying to do your job is not working, then what am I supposed to say? Right? And clearly something isn't working, right? Clearly. What's the selling point at the moment? Yes, absolutely, Obsidian. There's no incentive to fix old classes. Problem is that the problems have been ongoing for years now without Warlock and Paladin, right? The problem is that even Spiritborn is still broken since its inception. So what are we gonna do with that information now? Like, every new class is still broken since it has been put in the game. Many things are not working as they should. And there's a reason why we're going to start with Paladin next season. And it's not because, you know, Paladin is so much cooler than Necro. It's because just Necro is not... It's just dead. But it's not the good kind of dead, you know? The one where you're like, wow, you're the summoner of the dead. It's more the bad kind of dead where it's literally a dead class. It has been in survival mode for quite a while now. Oh, I accidentally turned off my demon form right now. That's bad. I should stop fat fingering that. No reason where it's happening. Oh, the butcher chat. Perfect testing ground for something. So we're gonna like activate everything, right? Oh, the butcher just bummed us out of our demon form. Jesus Christ. So I need to jump around for a second. Get our demon form back up. Get this one back up. Get all of this running, and then kill all of these quickly. Oh, I lost my demon form again. That butcher is like breaking my demon form right now. Biggest thing that's missing is fortified drain rate increase right now to combat this in a meaningful way. Oh look, it's both of them, Chan. But luckily the guardian dies like super fast. There. Now the pit has ended because we have died, but the guardian is still there. So that was our real test of damage. Because the butcher just bumps us out of our thing. Okay, so we need to go away from the wall so this can tick, and then bop, 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 bop. Yeah. Okay, good. That's working as intended. So higher power, there is a vertical and a horizontal stream, and you're in the vertical stream. That even says vertical in front, right? Okay, so now that we have this one, though, let's save this here. Let's also make sure that Rahir is upgraded, because Rahir has the bonus damage, so we've been pretty much not doing maximum damage. And that Aldkin is also having the Fields of Languish, yep. And then we're going to save the whole thingy. And we gotta try to do this whole now with Apocalypse, because the interesting part is that obviously Apocalypse has been also super strong, right? And you have two things that are better in Apocalypse now. You gain 35 attack speed and critical strike chance. Your primary resource costs are increased by 30%. So that also works for Apocalypse to make it better. And we're gonna be getting the... We're going to be getting the damage reduction. Wonder how this crippled your fingers on controller? Nothing, not at all private. So what you have to do is very simple. So private, just for you. Pick up stone, activate demon form. Then you can jump. You have to press the bombardment 5 times, then 1 time the blazing scream, and that's it. Now I can go for sentinel, 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 while everything else dies. Then you're just going to make sure that your... Blazing Scream is always active, which is annoying because it gets bumped into walls and gets deactivated. Okay. But you're pretty much just making sure that Blazing Scream and Bombardment is maximum stacked, and that's about it. Right? It's a very relaxed playstyle, actually. It's not like super spammy. And whenever you then have both active, right? You have 5 stacks of bombardment, you have your 5 stacks of, you have your blazing scream around you. Then you could just go sentinel, 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 sentinel to just laser out like there's no tomorrow. If you want to automize this thing even more, you could also have the... You could also have the Prid rune cast your prison, your dark prison, but I don't want that, so I just cast the thing myself. Also, don't forget that your rampage, that the ability you're running, jumping around with, is also doing significant damage. So everything you do is actually doing significant damage. There's no ability of yours that is not doing like quite the nasty amount of DPS. It's all your abilities. But everything hinges on demon form being active, because if demon form no active, then no cool super damage, because demon form again is 6.8% more damage per stack of demon. Mädels, was passiert? Give me a second. Need to not die. What's happening upstairs, Chad? My children are behaving erratic. Like when your demon form is not active, you're not dealing like peak damage. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna have to check the upstairs. I'll be right back. Okay. Waifu's just already back. So there's one thing that we can try now out to make this build even more convenient to play. And that would be... See, like right now I summon this and see how it's not even rotating. And if it's not rotating, it's not doing peak damage. So this is obviously awful. Especially, you want the thing to rotate to summon tiny demon hats. Because the main damage isn't even the skull rotating. See, I can just stand here and it's sending out tiny demon hats. And these tiny demon hats is really where the actual damage comes from, because they are doing the same damage as my main big hat. Right? So if my main big hat can't spawn tiny demon hats, then we're not getting peak damage. Now what really intrigues me though is when we, like, what happens when we play the spam version? Because the spam version can get 300 stacks of the Black Soulstone buff. Right? And that would be really intriguing to see how high that could go. Like, I can't even stand in this. Now, actually, if I stand right here in the middle, then I can keep my Blazing Scream up, right? But only if I stand right in the middle, exactly here, and don't move too far. Then it works. We're standing slightly skewed. Then my thingy is not going to be rotating. So if I want it now to hurt this guy, I need to pull him here. So that we could have this up. And then we kill him. That was a 130 in 5 minutes, so we can do a 135 at least. No, it's a bug. So what I wonder though is if I now swap over to the spam version. So we go for the spam version, right? No, not 130, 135. How powerful is that? So the spam version has a disadvantage. And that is that it base does less damage. But it has an advantage because you can actually just spam more like a madman. It's bugged. It's bugged. Yeah. It's already confirmed with the developers. So like the difference here is now you're gonna do this. See? You're gonna shoot these skeletons and they're gonna bounce off. And they're also going to do a lot of damage. I'm not sure if the damage can compound high enough. The bad part is that every single cast is now burning you harder, right? So if I just play the spam version, I just burn myself harder, and I get bounced out of my demon form quicker, right? Because obviously, like with the spam version, I need to spam, whereas with the rotation version, I just have it rotating. So I use less skills per second, ergo I do less burn to myself per second. And as you can see, like if we play the spam version, there's just a higher chance I die, because again, every single cast burns me. Whereas the rotation version, right, just is a bit more chill in that regard. Now, one interesting thing we can see for Mephisto, how that will work out. So if I now do the spam version instead of the rotating version, right? I say so like before he even moved a finger. That's next phase. Crazy part is like 300 demons already summoned, right, for the damage dealt here. Boop. That's bullshit. We already had you, Mephi. So like, look at the damage numbers. Every single skull is hitting for 100 trillion. So my big skulls are hitting. Look just at the scaling. But I'm also burning myself, which is the crazy part. But like, this is all trillions, chat. Every single hit is trillions. Right? But you got to consider the base damage difference, right? We have 54 million here, or 709 million. Okay, chat? So either I'm spam casting things for 54 million, or 9 million, or I'm going to be spam casting, or I'm not going to spam cast, but everything does 118 million. That's the magnitude difference when you think about it. And that's why the rotation one is so good. Right? Because it's 9.8% more damage per freaking rotation thingy. So we're now going that 135 that we did before with the spamming. And our skill is basically doing more than 10 times the damage of the other one. Activate demon form, right? And then you just have it rotating around you. And then you just don't need to do much, right? I can some of my other skills and just have this rotating. Look, this is just rotating around, right? I don't have to spam anything. Just have to exist. And the thing is, like, since I just have to exist for this damage to be happening, I can actually spam my I-beam. And that's where it gets, like, the intriguing part. Because now I can have this rotating around me, right? Consequence free if it's then not hitting a single wall. And then I can actually spam my I-beam, which also does 100 trillions of damage base. Because that's the real interesting part about like playing the rotation thingy. I can use both skills, right? So we have it rotating, it just does the damage, and then with the I-beam, I can do the equivalent damage. And then on top, I can obviously keep the bombardment up. So I have like 3 skills that are each compounding each other and just like leading to really crazy numbers. But again, I need to find like an area where I can actually do this, right? So please don't touch a wall. I mean, this is obviously the PDR right now where it just touches a wall, but you get the drift. Like, do I-beam. See, like 200 trillion each hit. 446 trillion. 454 trillion, chat. Just standing there, and the trillions are just raining out. It's like we have the base damage here now at billions, right? The hundreds of billions is the base damage. 700 billion is actually sitting almost at a trillion base damage. But the same goes for the I-beam. The I-beam is sitting at a base damage of 300 billion as well. This is how you can then destroy everything until you get finally bumped out of demon form. And if we then get bumped out of demon form, you notice how our damage is like less, right? So it's only 13 billion base damage, which is still respectable, but not there. And then you're just going to turn your demon form back on because short cooldown, and boom, there we are again. Right? The weakest link is probably the barrage, because the barrage is only sitting at a 50 billion base damage, but I guess that's fine. Can't be all there. I mean, the reason we're playing barrage is like actually that the barrage is taking out our demon count quite easily. Now, this is the easiest I've ever done at pit 135. Well, not really, you know, doing much. This is not even a spammy build. The only thing that would make this even better is if I could pull enemies together. So instead of now playing the Rogue's Concealment, I think the Cry Rune would be insane. Because as you notice, like my biggest weakness right now is that the enemies are not standing inside of me. Right? I have to go to them to have my rotational thingy rotation them. So if we now had a way to actually get them all inside of me, then I could potentially just increase my whole DPS, right? Kim, good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good time. How's the defense of the build? It's pretty decent, Tommy, because you get yourself the 30% here and then 40% on the ring. Right? That one is strong. What you're missing right now is like we could throw the Harlequin crest out and play a normal helm. Because the advantage of a normal helm is if you get one, the Harlequin crest now gives you 6 ranks, right? But that doesn't matter because a normal helm can also have +4 ranks to demonology skills. So you wouldn't even be like with many less ranks. A normal helm has the advantage you could play the demon aspect on top, and that demon aspect on top will give you another 30% damage reduction. So your damage reduction is actually top-notch in that regard. What do I want to say? Damage reduction. Ah, Cry Rune. Yes, let's try out the Cry Rune. Just see how much that would alter. Kel, Luck, Toll, What, Bar, Cry. Cry instead of Shroud. As well when Barb still whirlwinding. I mean, Barb didn't get weaker. Barb only got stronger. I know it's crazy, but it did. So now you have the Cry Rune, and you pull things together. And as you can see, now my skull can then easily just destroy all of them, right? Then we jump to the next pack, summon my skull, spam my skills, and boom. See, like this is what we're talking about. This is what we want to have happening. We want these guys to be all gathered in one place, that we can see this really hurting them. Oh, 617 trillion. I'd love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. Here again, cry them together. Obviously, problem if they all do poison damage, right? big difference definitely in the clearability of things. Because the biggest advantage we have right now is really that we don't have to use the Prit rune on our... God, Jesus Christ. Is everything like poisoned in this level? Because I took so much poison damage, it's not even funny anymore. They now stand here in the middle, pull them together, and they get killed by my demon. Then stand in the middle, pull them together, and they get killed by my demon. Beautiful. Apart from the dudes that are obviously harping on my poison pools here. The Sentinel, you play the Sentinel as an I-beam for bonus damage. The Butcher is definitely a problem for this, because he just does too much damage for us, right? To properly handle. So you play Profane Sentinel in this build here as a... Can you play the Abyss Sentinel? Yes, you can play the Abyss Sentinel, but that one is clunky at best. God, that poison damage. I think they're going to have to nerf a lot when it comes to main servers. Well, the thing is that this build is not broken in no way. The only thing that's broken is this soul shard. Right? Again, where's the damage coming from? It's really simple. Even without demon form, every single demon I kill gives me 5% more damage. So now let's look at this. 5% more. Okay, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So look at that. Look at this. That's 200 times 5% more damage. Now we're going to summon the Blazing Scream on top, okay? Now look at this. And that's without, like, having anything going. So now I'm going to activate my... I'm going to just hold down my button here. I have the Blazing Scream on. We're going to stack things. I'm going to try to get like as many as possible. So that's 300. Get the Blazing Scream. Let's see how much I can overdo this. Okay, we got the Blazing Stream. Now let's see. Can I go over to the 200? 200, 200, 200, 200. See, that's 400 trillion then because of the... This is why your damage is also like sparking a bit up and down because you just have this going on, right? There's 200. Look out that your Blazing Stream doesn't hit a wall. 250, nice. About 200. Not realistic to hit that inside a dungeon, right? But 200 is kind of like gonna happen, and then you're just like look at 925 trillion, chat. Right? It was 925 trillion. A charm? No, we're using the Anathema of Primes, and that one is actually required. You could also get the Anathema of Primes as a mythic. Why do we need to use the Anathema of the Primes? Because it allows us to jump and bump around. I wonder if I could use the Elegy and the Infernal Homunculus as charms. I'm not entirely sure if they can actually be turned into charms right now. The Elegy can't be a charm, and that's a dud. The Homunculus can be a charm. So technically, you could use the Homunculus and the Anathema together to then use a normal focus. That's actually intriguing to think about. Because right now, we just have this one. You could, like, play the one... probably not much, but the possibilities. Yeah, this is like quite nasty, especially if you had like real items, right? So these are all like not real items that have like the real multipliers you're looking for. So there's so much more that we could get out of this. I mean, look at our weapon, doesn't even have a crit damage multiplier. But the life on kill is quite useful for the temerity. So life on kill should not be underestimated. I mean, look at my offhand. My offhand is straight up horrible. It doesn't have a crit damage multiplier. It doesn't have like anything that you kind of want to see. Good. Now let's check out the advantage. So what could our good old friend Apocalypse do different? So for Apocalypse, right? Where's my Apocalypse skill tree? For Apocalypse, I have not been playing Bombardment because Bombardment is like super effing clunky, right? It's like really annoying to actually trigger Bombardment. Like why would you ever bother with that? However, what you can actually do is you can now cast Bombardment while you're moving. Suddenly Bombardment goes from actually being to being yay. Right? So I can run around and spam Umbral Chains, but at the same time, I can actually run around and have my Bombardment going on. It might even be opportune to say, hey, what if I just play Orbital Scream to go around me, right? And have the Bombardment around me to not even have to cast Umbral Chains at all. I mean, Umbral Chains is still good, so it would be a waste to not do those, but, you know, it's an option. Same was actually for Dark Prison, so you can now not use the Prid Rune anymore because you can cast this while moving. So they're all actual options nowadays. Blazing Stream can still be used as a rotational. That's the boom. Sigil of Subversion for zooming. We even have like one skill free to do whatever we want to do. I have to see. We got Command Valage. Yeah. Apparently you should do the life consumption thingy. How long is Veloch lasting again when you summon him? He was Siphon Power 10 seconds, right? Yeah. Have to use him every 10 seconds. Tyrant's Grasp. Tyrant's Grasp is as strong as it has always been. So Tyrant's Grasp is not getting stronger. It's also not getting weaker. Which means you could just play that and have a good time. I wonder if that actually does prolong the duration of Dark Prison, because it shows like here a longer duration, but it doesn't actually show the longer duration, right? It's a bit weird. Okay, now we need the sigils. Where's my charms? We got Hellfire. We got Cold. And the Theme of Prime's out. I need the of the 3 T-Bolt's Will, Temerity, Locker, and Scepter of the 3. So that's insane, right? Scepter of the 3. Insane damage. But we need occult skills now. So I need to go to Mrak. Where's Mr. Mrak? I sell more. So goal is right now to make this just more zoomy. Okay, Chad? Equipment, talisman items. Okay, not the ones we're looking for. There should also just be generally every Warlock build that summons demons should go insane due to the way how it works. So that's Hellfire skills can be used. This. And now the rolling begins again. Annoying. Hellfire skills. With them lore and the fur. So we're looking for Oak Cold or Hellfire skills. Preferable Oak Cold. The fur that already has a cold. Maracas and Temis too? Where did I miss him? I've been looking. Seems like I have not been looking hard enough, right? Okay, so I've been getting like the fur now multiple times with Hellfire. When I say multiple times, like I mean that. As if the other ones don't exist with Hellfire. Did anyone notice that this became slightly faster, by the way? It seems like every X cast, he's like not really doing the animation. So they slightly sped this up. I'm pretty sure about it. Because I know how excruciating annoying it is to reroll this so many times, right? Definitely been faster. But it's like weirdly faster because it seems like almost that the animation spam is like breaking the system. Pretty sure due to this being faster, I'll at some point miss what I'm looking for. Right? You're gonna just spammity spam, and then you're like, oh fuck, no. Okay, I need a Linta, but it doesn't matter if the Linta has ranks or not. Okay, so now we have this. We get that one level, we get that one leveled. We have free thingies. It's not worth it. Wonder where I want to spend my final points. And I need to spend points here into Nether Steps so that we can zoom. I guess into Bombardment. Because the advantage now is, let me actually drop like down a few tiers just to show you. 100. When you're playing Apocalypse now, right? The only way to have Apocalypse appropriately work was always do this. Right? So you had to throw in your chains, and then you could do like Apocalypse, right? And then have the Apocalypse explode, and then do Apocalypse, right? As doing the damage. But now you can also have like this one stacked up continuously at any given point, so that you can actually just do even more Apocalypse stacks quicker, because everything is just working better, right? We need the waning. That fire resistance needs to be maximum life. Do we get the Unstoppable to use T-Bolts? No, the Blazing Scream build does not use T-Bolts. It's not worth it there. You really, due to the nature of how the Blazing Scream works, you want to play it with Temerity. The thing is, like, you have like the blazing screams and they're dying, and that actually gives you life on kill, and that life on kill compounds like really nicely up. So it's just too good to not play Temerity there. As much as I would like to use T-Bolts for that build. And I guess in lower pit tiers, you could probably use T-Bolts over Temerity. But later, when you're trying to go higher pit tiers, the defense that Temerity provides is just too good to not have it. Temerity then, Rob put T-Bolts on his Blazing Stream Planner. Icarus, each build is different. Okay? Each build is different. It's not a mistake on Rob's side. He's just playing the build different. Okay? Weren't you on holiday? I was 7 days on holiday, yeah. More holidays not happening for me. And as a creator, you can only be a significant time away per day, right? I can't be infinite days away. Not gonna happen. Gotta be conservative with that. So there's an interesting new rune that we can also play, Chad. So first we need the Hands of the Worldbreaker. Wow, they're so terrible. Still gonna play them. Then we need the chess piece, Flashword Carapace. We're gonna play the Harlequin Crest again. Yeah. These are like horrible versions of this that has armor, willpower, poison resistance. Actually, you know what? That one is an okay version of this. Resistance to all elements. So you can play Temerity, you can play T-Bolt's Will. I think T-Bolt's Will is just for the people that are lazy to figure out their resource generation. Otherwise, you can obviously figure out your resource generation. Then again, I think like if you play the build slightly different, you could also with a Starless and something get it done. But the problem with Starless is that you need to understand the build first before you can really efficiently use Starless. Okay, since I don't need the Prit rune anymore, could play things different here. Oh, you said Mrak is somewhere around here next to the pit. Yeah, I literally ignored his existence. I just ignored his existence. So are we going to play Warlock Season 15? Yes, but we're going to give you all the Warlock builds, Chad. So don't worry, it's not just going to be the Hellfire blasting. We're also going to make all the Summoner builds work and that kind of stuff. Literally everything, because I just enjoy playing this so much. The Hands of the Worldbreaker are just straight up terrible. But my first specialty is probably making one of the Hellfire builds work because they're just so stupid. The first thing we need to test, though, is how good is the lesser demon stacking working on the... on this build as well, you know? It's like the more interesting part. Can the lesser demon stacking, can that also work on this? I think that matters, you know? By the way, we can actually play Mala Speeding Flame in this build as well, as long as I maintain our volatility. Because we're pretty much playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skills, right? And 5 times 40% is 200% bonus damage, according to my calculations. Only one crafted can be equipped. Big. Only one crafted. You can still find all of these as mythic. Okay. Shrimp cake, good to see you there. Also, you can still go here for random mythics. This is not having the craft attack. See if I go for this. This is not having the craft attack. Okay. And guess what? If I go over here, and if I craft on this one, it also doesn't have the craft attack. So is it going to be hard to be having all these mythics? No, it's not. It's just simply not going to be hard to have all these mythics. It's absolutely possible. You're just lacking the vision, my friend. Oh, wow, these are all horrible. Not even remotely not horrible. Most of yours will find 9 mythics. You're not going to find them, sir. You're going to be getting them naturally, over time, while playing. Not that complicated. I'd be surprised how easy it's going to turn out to be down the line. I'm like really not worried at all that anyone is going to struggle to get their mythics together. I mean, sure, there's always the outlier, right? That doesn't understand how the game works, but the craft attack is essentially to create one perfect one. AKA, if I need a perfect model speeding flame, if I need a perfect elegy, right? I get the option to make one perfect one. Also, we got to consider that you do not need mythics at all to actually kill Mephisto. You don't need it to do pit 120. You don't, like, all of these are not needed to do these things. Just if you want to get further, right? I mean, if I can get my model speeding flame, then instead of getting 29% bonus damage or 30% bonus damage per, which is already 150%, right? I'm not getting that crazy of a bonus. I'm getting some of a bonus, right? The bonus is going to be useful. But it's not like this earth-shattering, world-flensing, super madness, ultra whatever bonus. It's just useful. What rune combo can we play for this? Am I playing the Wolfies? Just to have the Wolfies? Because the Wolfies were activating my Scepter of the Three. But I think they changed that, how that works. And I could actually go for the Cry Rune. Okay, now we just need 2 rings and then we're good to go. And we need to obviously change our Paragon board. Because the way how the Paragon board is sadly does not work. Oh, I will do Warlock 100%. There's no questions. I can do this. Hello, Mr. Butcherman. tanky enough for that. Change like all our sigils and everything because we're obviously not having like going what we need to have going. Soul shard is So let's change the Paragon board. I can sadly not salvage anything of this. I need to redo the complete Paragon for that. Sad phase OP. We can also not do dominance stacking, but we can use a new glyph. So we've been using Hellforge in here. But I think I'm going to kick Hellforge out because there's a new one, and it's called Vanguard Unbound Superiority. You gain 10% damage reduction. Your dominance regeneration is increased by 2% of your recent dominance spent. This one might actually be useful. I'm not entirely sure about it, if it will turn out useful or not. But we got to check it out. Superiority might be doing something decent. Certification picture. Honestly, the pictures of the mountains don't really capture the mountains, right? Like every single picture we made up there was like, man, this really doesn't vibe as hard as actually being there. You know? Scale and size is hard to convey on that. One gets Wrath. Actually, do we need Wrath? That's the good question. So this is damage per overpower stack. I would actually think, like, if we go for this, right? Like, this is damage per overpower stack. I could, with a superiority, boost this quite significant. That's an insane booster. Fathomless. No one gets Headhunter. And then we got the last board with Entropy. See if I can actually even activate this. Entropy was... you know what? Let's do... Everything activated, everything running. Oh, we are missing the first one. Okay, so we got Entropy, Headhunter, Wrath. Wrath goes out, Empowered, and Hellforge. Okay, let's do... Not sure if the bonus dominance recovery is like kind of worth it. A little bit is better than nothing. The only regret I'd have about this build is like that I have to just maintain more things. But it just feels way more agile than ever before. Just has become like a more, like I need to look out for more things because I pretty much need to have like my demons here active at any given point. And I get more stacks of things. Are you going to play GTA 6? No. I have like no interest in GTA 6. And he just went to Narnia. There's a pit 110. So pit 110 doesn't really say anything, right? Let's see if I just jump into a pit 130. Because the other build could do a pit 130 easily, right? And this is technically a stronger version. Oh, but you know what? Let me get my rings. I mean, well, like, we just don't need rings, right? Rings are overrated anyways. Like, who wants to have rings? So no, GTA 6 is not my cup of tea, not my game that I really like playing, that I'm even remotely interested in. I know a lot of people like GTA 6, but, you know, that's just not for me. Damage over time multiplier, that's wrong. First week, Warlock is OP, then gets nerfed. Don't forget that there are no in-season nerfs unless something is functionally broken, right? Something a lot of people seem to be forgetting. There are no in-season nerfs to good stuff. Unless it is actually broken. Like broken. Not just good, just broken. Right? As it should be. Because there's no sense in nerfing in-season stuff. Oh, Ghost Chiller, we've already done like past that, so we've done like pit 130. I mean, Warlock can definitely do pit 150 right now. Warlock is completely, I mean, it's not Warlock who's overtuned, and it's like the crazy part. So Warlock is just strong. It's like the tools that you're given to make it overtuned, which makes me like I don't know, how do I say this? So this is a season of borrowed power again. What does a season of borrowed power mean? A season of borrowed power means that we're literally getting our main power actually from the things that the season provides and not like from our own setup, goodness, whatsoever. Which I personally dislike. So I prefer if the power came from the character because they actually buff the characters, but that's not where our power comes from. And the problem is if our power does not come from that our characters are good, that means that we will have to, like, that all the power that we're getting right now is going to be gone at the end of the season. And that's suboptimal. Let's actually keep the ring and just change the aspect over to the Calamity aspect. So you know what the real interesting part is? Do we even need Calamity? We got 50% crit chance. You know what? We don't even have to play that. We can play Ignition, and we could play Occult. Is there an Occult one? Yeah, I'll probably just play Scorching Heat. We get enough like fire resistance to make that work for now. What we're missing is a 2-handed weapon. Like we've been literally playing this now without a 2-handed weapon, chat, which is actually really, really sad when you think about it. Where's my two-handed sword? Didn't I have like a two-handed sword somewhere? I had this one, right? This was crit damage multiplier, all damage multiplier, and that life on kill over to... maximum life. Gonna be enough, right? Then we're gonna have this one go for crit, and we're literally sitting at almost 70% crit chance without even doing something. Ah, beautiful. You already beat Beast of Reincarnation? Yeah, it was a 15-hour banger. And honestly, the end of Beast of Reincarnation was pretty good. So if you would like to see the end, I've uploaded the live stream. It was a heartfelt, it was a touching one. They actually didn't do a super absolute cinema moment, but you know what? It kind of redeemed the game that the ending was fine. I was almost ready to yell at the screen because they, you know, they gave us not the ending I was hoping for. Almost. They played like a cruel game with my heart. Okay, yeah, is it so hard to give me the greater affix here? Thank you, you little shit. Mercy. Two rubies. Okay, now we get the actual damage. 15 hours kind of short. Most Souls games are around 15 to 20 hours max. Even Sekiro was 24 hours. Often ignored fact. Ow, I died. That was a bit greedy. How much life are we sitting at? 40,000. Oh, did you see that 400 trillion damage chat now? That I have everything that I'm supposed to have? Yep, 700 trillion damage. Are you seeing this, Mom? 805 trillion damage. How high can we go? How high can we go? 938 trillion damage. Ladies and gentlemen. If you see anything above 904 trillion, if you see anything above 900 trillion, please call out to me. Certainly would like to know. Oh, there it was. There was the quintillion chat. There's 2.2 trillion. So here, welcome to Apocalypse Warlock, also hitting for the quintillion. One dot trillion here. Boom. And see how zoomy this feels now? Because we're like the whole trick is that we're getting our stacks faster than ever to the apocalypse because we can cast the barrage while moving, right? I mean, is it sad that the actual strong builds are even stronger now? Yeah, kind of like it would be cool if the underused builds would also be stronger. Do I give a flying fart? No, I'm definitely going to make this build on the live server as well. Because this is not even the strongest form of the build, right? It goes even stronger. But again, the actual, like, the power of the build is actually the power of the build, right? But a lot of the power of the build is also down to the new Soulstone. And I'm not even making enemies vulnerable right now. So just for you to understand, chat. So we just did a quintillion damage. Okay, so you know, 1,000 trillion damage. But the thing is that we're not even making enemies vulnerable right now. Because I cannot transfigure my amulet with a second aspect. Okay? So we're literally missing a whole damage multiplier happening currently. If you think about it. Oh, there was it, chat. There was the boom 2.2 quintillion. Absolute destruction. Just make Splinter who makes vulnerable all the time. No, can't do, because I need the Splinter for the damage. I need the Splinter for damage reduction, and I need the Splinter for attack speed and critical strike chance. So I don't have any Splinter left. I mean, I would now put a Curse Touch on my amulet, and that would actually fix it. Dunzo. We could also put, like, the lucky hit chance to make vulnerable on our weapon, because as you can see, we get, like, a 55% critical strike chance, so we don't require it. So, yeah. Ta-da, chat! Quite demonic, isn't it? That feels good. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so that is decent on Warlock. What else does Warlock do, though? So this was like 2 Warlock builds, right? But what else? I mean, technically, there's a very interesting one. Okay, chat. So we have this build. Let me show you something. This build from our friend Mr. Macro Bio Boy last season. It was called the Big D Spirit Necro. Okay. By the way, has any one of you gotten also this absolute weird ass AI ad that's running everywhere? Jesus Christ. With like best game in the world and so on. Wow. Okay, so what is this is? Like, look at the damage over time here. So this is damage over time for trillions, right? Which is actually powerful for Warlock, to for Necromancer to do damage over time. So you're just going to go around, right? And you're going to throw these out. And this is like, this damage over time is amazing. It's like a trillion damage over time. And you could probably push the build even further. Now, the real interesting part about this is that damage over time can't crit. Right? You're right. Damage over time can't crit. So why is that interesting? Well, because if you can play this one here. That says you deal 100% increased damage, but lose 100% crit chance. Cool, isn't it? So you pretty much double that damage from like 2-3 trillion to 6 trillion instantly. Fear, no, Blizzard. So Blizzard is watching the streamers, yes, but you will agree that this one shouldn't stay that way, right? I mean, let's all agree that killing enemies absorbs a soul shouldn't stay this way, because here comes the interesting question now. So it says killing enemies or things that you kill yourself. What if I now take my Necromancer? Necromancer, necromancer, da-da-da. So, now we're going to swap our skeletons over to the explodey skeletons. So the ones that actually kill themselves. Then, instead of Bone Storm, we're also going to play Army of the Dead. That summons a volatile skeleton every 4 seconds, and that I can pretty much then more or less spam out. We're also going to change the Azure Wrath over to another Waking Touch, so I get the cooldown reduction, okay? So what's going to happen right now is that I can just swap one of these out for a soul splinter. Where are my soul splinters? I don't have the soul splinters. I think my soul splinters are probably on my Sorg. Because I played this morning around with a Sorg, banana phone, ding dong, ding dong. Farseeker, someone was saying that even though dot is going up, Farseeker, dot not being worth it is a relative thing. So yes, other builds are stronger than dot. However, if you want to play a damage over time build, it is insane. For seasonal activity items. I had seasonal activity items on this character. I'm not crazy. Talk to Mrak. Apply all boosts. The problem is that I need to apply all boosts to get these seasonal activity items, because otherwise we're not getting those. These are my eternal characters, by the way. These are not my seasonal characters. So we have seasonal and eternal characters on this. So I can just jump and bump around, try out things. So, seasonal activity items. Dankeschön. We're gonna get all the soul splinters. After putting all the runes away. There's only one thing I want to test on the Necromancer. Because if the Black Soulstone stays this way, things are gonna be nice. I mean, like, again, on the one hand, I hate it if it stays this way. On the other hand, I will be very pleased if it stays this way because it just gives power to everyone. So here, for example, this 5% more damage per is now going to come on here. Then we're going to do the more attack speed and crit. And we're going to do the damage reduction so I can just stay alive. Okay, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in the pit. And the idea is that now me using my Army of the Dead is going to kill my it's going to kill my minions. Okay? And if minions die, dying minions should trigger the Soulstone. So I'm going to do this and these skeletons die. And that should technically trigger it. But it's actually not. Oh, wait. The Soulstones don't work on Eternal. Oh, my goodness. I actually have to make a real Necro. They just vanish on... Wait. Can I... No. Soulstones, they just vanish on Eternal. That's sad. Okay, then I need to test this. I need to make a real Necromancer. Necro! Let's try. Should be able to put this really quick together because I have the build guide here on the side. I mean, I literally don't want to put it like fully together. I just want to see if the synergy works. Okay? Chad? I right now don't want to put the build. I just need to know, does the synergy work? Because that would be insane. Right? Apply all boosts. And we're teleporting to Temis. Actually, to the training grounds right away. Not even to Temis, just to the training grounds. Okay, seasonal activity items. Splinter, banana phone, splinter, banana phone. Okay, killing enemies gives you souls. So, if I now use my skill called the Army of the Dead. Right? Interestingly enough, these do not count as dying thingies. Okay, so they are not triggering the soul absorption. What if I kill my own skeletal warriors? So we get skeletal warriors and we're gonna resummon them. I need to make corpses. Make corpses. They're also not triggering it. Huh. I mean, it's still going to be worth it in the build because it might not stack as fast as the other classes, but it's still 5% more damage per enemy killed, right? So even if it kills only 10, it's another 50% more damage. It kills 20, right? When they nerf Warlock, kill us. There is nothing to nerf about Warlock. Again, Warlock is as strong as he is. The real power is coming from the Soul Stone. It's not the Warlock who's OP. It's the Soul Stone who's OP. Johnny, aren't these considered enemies? Demons should also not be enemies, but they are. Now, the interesting part is, even if I put the Soul Stone off... okay, so we have this Soul Stone now that lets me stack to quintillions of damage, okay? Let's assume the Soul Stone gets nerfed. Because they feel like that the Soul Stone is too powerful. Like, we could literally replace it through the... See, this is only 2% instead of 5% more damage, okay? So we're literally going to put on the weaker Soul Stone, because obviously Abyssal Splinter is like, broken. So now we're going to only do the 2% one, instead of the 5% one. Pick this up. Summon my dude. Get everything pumping. So, like, we're still doing 600 trillion damage, even with a weak version of this. Right? So, even if they nerf the Soul Stone, it would be plenty good for what we're doing. Right? And even without the Soul Stone, right, it would be hundreds of trillions. Actually... So, like, even without the Soul Stone, the actual, like, I've seen a perfect build or a perfect equipped version of this does 1,000 trillion damage. Right? So, currently in Season 14, this build does already do 1,000 trillion damage in absolute God equipment. Now, I am far from having actual God equipment, right? The interesting part I find, though, is that this opens up for Warlock now. Every single build that actually summons demons works. Now, again, do I think demons should interact with the Soul Stone? No, they shouldn't. But it's a mechanic of the Warlock with actual killing stuff, so I guess it is what it is. So, like, even with the weak Soul Stone, it's not quintillions, Chad, but it is good enough. Oh, it should be nerfed, right? No. I mean, as you can see, I'm doing a pit 130 here, but I'm also doing a pit 130. I could do a 140. I could probably do even 150 with this. But, again, you still need perfect equipment to get to that. I mean, this power level on Warlock is exactly how it should be. This is the power level that you reach when you would have, like, see, I have all these items in mythics, right, Chad? I have a mythic charm as well, which is going to be very hard to get. Like, this is a power level that you reach with insane grind. And that's exactly how it should be. I know you see this now and you're like, damn, kind of OP. But kind of OP if you have everything. There's literally no reason to nerf this in any way. And there's every reason to buff the other builds in some ways. For example, the Hellfire Fracture build is good. The problem is that you can't cast Hellfire Fracture while moving, which makes Hellfire Fracture absolutely worse to play. If you now would actually add Hellfire Fracture to cast while moving, or even Abyssal Fracture, then suddenly it would go from a weird-ass build to this is quite interesting. And this is like how it is with many skills right now. They just need that little bit more push to really go like into the interesting department. And I think that's what we should be aiming for. We shouldn't be aiming for any nerfs. We should be aiming how do we get these builds into the interesting department now. That's very important. And the intriguing part is now we got to look at what skill does all summon demons. So you could spam lunatics, right? So with that thingy on, also say now, what if we play the lunatic build? Because the lunatic build is already good, correct? And if we're now getting demon thingies, the question is, so you go for the lunatic, right? And we're going to invest a few skill points here into the mega lunatic. Yeah, this counts as killing demons too, even the small demons. See, my small demons die. I'm getting the stacks as well. Look at that. Interesting. If you now use Agrim to have him spawn lesser childs, and you would use the chest piece that gives you a second Agrim. So like, look at how many lesser demons we're killing. Chat, look at how many lesser demons we're killing. It's times 5%. And if we now, on top of actually doing that, decide to use the Sigil of Summons to give ourselves even more demons, because now you can do this. That's 200. That's like, see like how the demons are stacking up? Go summons, Agrim. They're sitting 100, 200 demons. So we can make use of this pretty handily as well, right? That's just base. That's kind of funny. I think this counts as killing lesser demons too. You could actually use Terror Storm to kill lesser demons because that counts. Fun. Warlock main? No, I'm absolutely going to do Warlock main. There's no question. And I have a lot of plans with this. A lot of plans, you know? Warlock is going to be quite beautiful. And I think, like, again, let me see if the Creator Discord has something about this already. Game feedback. Oh shit, maggots are probably gonna be... I haven't seen anything about the soul stone. Let me go for black dimension, black soul stone. When I see complaints about the soul stone, obviously people are just throwing it out there. Something, not something here. No, I mean there's not too much complaints. I think they'll easily prevent our demon's death count to count towards the splinter. That's, I think, not easily done, my friend, because Warlock is the only one that actually kills things. The problem is that Warlock has a specific keyword, right? And that says kill demons, right? So we got here, we can kill our lesser demons, right? You can kill your own demons, and then you have like here, like you need to kill demons inside the sigils, right? And then your lesser demon skills are killed. So the difference of the demons to other things is that they can actually die. Right? Everyone preparing a Warlock build until Blizzard reveals Amazon as the next class for pre-order of the next X-Pack on BlizzCon. A Hellra build, the next expansion is over 1.5 years away. Not happening the next year. It's quite far away. So I wouldn't expect to see that anytime soon. Paladin, we get what, like now... When did we get Paladin? Paladin we got in December. So kind of 5 months before the expansion? 6 months before the expansion? So I wouldn't expect like the Amazon maybe next year, May. Kinda. Morty, thank you for the Prime subscription. Morty, good to see you there, partner. Hope you're doing very great. Very great. Very well. Monk, I don't know what I would prefer for a new class. But to be fair, before we get a new class, how about the actual classes work? Now, I don't want to be that guy. I don't really want to be that guy that keeps saying this. But how about the existing classes actually work? I mean, Druid riddled with bugs. We get Rogue riddled with bugs as well. Necromancer is still like on life support. Curses don't work. Minions barely work. Damage over time not existing. Sorcerer can only do lightning builds. I mean, fire builds, yes, flame wall. But it wasn't really flame wall. It was flame wall plus, right? So fireball doesn't work. We have frost orb in the frozen version, or the fire version doesn't work. Yeah. Then we get Barbarian. Barbarian is just broken. I mean, it has 4 weapons. It can equip more uniques, mythics, aspects, everything. Spiritborn only works because of a bug. And in Spiritborn, only 1 build per season really works. I mean, we had Thorns. We had, like, the Poison now, right? The Paladin got nerfed into non-existence. I mean, you can play Paladin, but it feels like you got shot in the knee. And then Warlock is absolutely broken in every single regard, right? Everything works on Warlock. I mean, I can take whatever Warlock build I want and at least do Pit 120. So realistically, looking at it, a new class would only gloss over the existing problems. Right? A new overpowered class seems more realistic and reasonable than D4 team figuring out class balance. I'm not talking about class. I don't need class balance. I just need old outstanding issues to be fixed. Right? King, thank you for the Prime subscription and support. King, very good to see you there, partner. Hope you're doing well. I mean, let's throw an eye on one very glaring issue, chat. Okay? I think that shouldn't exist. Are you ready to get bamboozled? Are you ready to get your pants blown off? So we're looking at Warlock, okay? Warlock has 4 cool skills, 5 cool core skills, 4 interesting defensive skills, 4 supportive that could be also damaging skills, 3 sigils that each in their own right are interesting, and 4 ultimates that each of them actually does work apart from Terrastorm. Okay, this is what Warlock has right now. Okay, kind of cool. If you look at Druid, it's even more. If you look at Barb, it's even more skills. Well, not all of them are worth it, right? Spiritborn too. And then we're going to my number 1 example, the Necro. Okay. Let's look at the Necro for a second. where we have 4 basic skills that you never want to use, apart from leveling. Then you have 5 core skills where 1 gives you traveling, and the rest, or actually 6 core skills, 1 is traveling, and the rest is useless, apart from your minions. You get 3 skills where this one is useless right now, and that one is minions again. Then you get 4 skills where this one is good, no one plays this one, that's a minion again, and this is maybe played as bonus damage. You got 2 curses, which are completely useless, apart from their supportive value and have no other use than actually never being played in your skill bar, right? And lastly, you get 4 ultimates where this one is broken, useless, and that one is adequately kind of doing something. Yeah, I mean, what is that? I mean, if you just look at the skill tree, it just looks so sad compared to the other classes, right? Especially this part here, where curses have basically unfunctional since forever. Yeah, you could have fire, cold, and lightning variants for every single skill, and you don't have it. Which build in Warlock Hub would you recommend for a beginner Warlock? Morty, you are going to look at the Blazing Scream Warlock. That's what I would do. I would level with a Hellfire version. So if you have the Warlock Hub here, right? You're going to level with a Hellfire version 1 to 70. It's super good, super easy. You're not going to have any problems. And then you're going to be slowly building into the Blazing Scream Warlock because that one is insane. You could then later either do Hellfire Sentinel, Rampage, or you could do the Apocalypse in itself, whatever you feel like. But honestly, the Blazing Scream Spam Warlock is super powerful. Then later, obviously, the Hellfire Sentinel also super good. But the Hellfire Sentinel, like each build of these actually needs a decent Model Speeding Flame that you then make into Mythic. So it's kind of what you want. Also, for the Hellfire Sentinel, you do need Anathema of the Primes. So while the Blazing Scream does actually work without... No, actually, one's Anathema of the Primes as well. Yeah, as a charm. So both work. But you can actually play the Anathema of the Primes here too if you don't have it as a charm. But again, we have videos on all these here, like, right? This is the video we have that explains, like, kind of the build. They killed Necro by nerfing that one build. I mean, they're so easy things to fix Necro, and this is what infuriates me to a certain degree as a content creator who's giving feedback. Like, I literally know how to fix the class. I know how to fix Necro. But how does Blizzard not know? I'm not being paid for this, okay? So I'm playing this game for fun, right? And I'm not claiming to be a next level super genius, right? I'm not claiming to be the smartest person in the room. But Necro is easily fixable. Like that actually each Necro build that's currently not working would work again. And it's not that complicated and it's not that deep. And I just don't understand how Blizzard doesn't see it, right? How does Blizzard not open their eyes? And this goes for every class, by the way. So how would I fix Necro? Well, first and foremost, you could make these weird-ass thingies that give you 45% bonus damage be 60 or 70% bonus damage. Alone that would fix every single build to a degree already. The same actually goes for, this one is good, the Cult Leader node. The same goes here. This is 60% against cursed enemies. You know what? There are similar nodes in the Warlock, Paladin, or whatsoever. Just bump this up to 80 or 90%. That would be already a 30% bonus damage than here and another 20. So that's 50% more damage than I'm dealing right now, which would equate to another 2, 3, 4 Paragon tiers. Pit tiers, especially since it would be 50% bonus damage for every single build. The same goes here. Army of the Dead is one of the strongest skills you have. You cannot spam it. It's unspammable. However, if this one would say ultimate, minion, and summon tag, you could at least use your charms to boost the ranks of it. And if you then could boost the ranks of it, despite it not being spammable, you could turn it into a 100 trillion damage skill. And that would be fine because you can't spam it. Right? That's simple. Also, from every underused core skill that's currently not working, you could just baseline increase the damage by 50%. Now that sounds crazy, right? But yeah. Nico, we're sitting all together in the Diablo Partner Discord. I cannot show you this. The Diablo Partner Discord has channels for every single class. And we're regularly giving feedback on every single class. everything is given to the devs, right? But on top of everything given to the devs, all the things I just told you, you could have come up with yourself, right? Everything I just told you wasn't rocket science. It's kind of like, it's glaringly obvious, right? Why is this having only 45% increased damage? What is that? That's cringe as fuck. Especially if the Warlock has the same node. Warlock has the same node that does 75% bonus damage with 25% damage reduction. Huh? Explain it to me. Someone that played the game for 2 weeks notices that. They don't like the class. Colo, I don't know what it is. If they don't like the class, or again, the guy responsible for Necro is absolutely terrible at his job. Right? And you know what the crazy part is? They used to have a person at the company that's called Adam Jackson. And I know Adam Jackson was a very sufficient developer. But even during his tenure, while he was there, these issues didn't get fixed, right? So despite having that, you know, that very smart man there that left the company, it didn't get fixed. So if the smart man left and his second in command is now taking the lead, yeah, I'm not expecting much. Low priority on the priority list. Yeah, but it's Blizzard. It's a ginormous AAA gaming company that has more than one person. If the team was 20 people, but Diablo allegedly has 300 to 400 people working on it, probably not that many anymore, right? But still, I mean, it's your job literally to do these things, right? I could understand if you were doing this on the side. But you gotta, like, this is what they do. They come to work, and they sit down, and the Necro class designer thinks about Necromancer, allegedly, right? It's their job, right? You go there, and you do these things. And it's not my job, and it took me 10 minutes to figure this out. So what are you doing all day long? What are you doing all day long? If I could do this in 10 minutes, right? And like, it's, you have an 8-hour day. What are you doing with your 8 hours per day? Ain't no way you're pushing for changes through 14 layers of administrative. Like, that is a valid point. So in case you missed it, chat, there was a tweet from Asha administrative layer tweet. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, goodness. So there was a tweet from the Xbox lady, the new Xbox lady, the head of Xbox, right? And she said they're trying to cut down on management layers. Because as it seems, Xbox has been having like 14 management layers. Trying to push something could like definitely not be as simple as it is, right? Yeah, changes never make it past the committee stage. Could be that the assistant manager of the assistant manager of the assistant manager is trying to actually change things, and it's just being stopped somewhere down the line. My main question always is, how much ego is stopping innovation, right? Because someone has to have made Necro at the first part, right? And then it's just kind of like, yeah, Necro is good as it is. I don't have to change anything. But by the way, remember that 45% damage from Necro, chat, okay? So let's look at my Warlock board, how much damage I'm getting per board. So I get 100% bonus damage. I get another 90%, so that's 190% bonus damage. Then I get another 105% bonus damage, okay? So we're sitting at 295% bonus damage. And then we get another 75. So I'm already sitting at a massive increase of damage. And then Necromancer was what? 60% bonus damage and 45% bonus damage. Okay, that's 105% versus 190%. So the Warlock already has 85% more damage with 2 Paragon boards than the Necro has. No wonder we're falling behind. Right? No wonder. Aragoon Gaming, thank you very much for your Prime subscription. King again, thank you for the Prime support. Also, King, I did miss your question. Could you ask it again? Yeah, meanwhile, Sork cracked 60% one note and they neutered it. However, I saw it in the patch notes. That was it the Enchantment Master or which one was it for Sork? I just saw that Sork somewhere kicked in the balls. I'm not entirely sure which one was it that got kicked in the balls, but one did. The Enchantment Master, right? Went down from 100 to 60 and everyone was pretty much using Enchantment Master. I remember, my friend. I mean, Sork clearly too strong. Like, we don't have to argue about that. You know that Sork is, like, I hate to tell you this, but Sork is obviously clearly too strong. Sork's completely down in the water. I have seen, like, where was it? Let me see. Did Makuna do some testing? It's always interesting when PDR is happening to, like, throw an eye on our fellow content creators, what they're doing currently. Here we have PDR, Warlock OP, Sork. There we go. Bitter mode. Sorry, German ads chat. Don't have YouTube Premium. Poor man. I have to invest in YouTube Premium at some point. What we got here? So we have Makuna trying out things. We got Lyric's Crown, Sork. I think it's Ball of Lightning again. See, this is pit 115, right? And I've seen a 719 billion, which is kind of sad. So we got Ball of Lightning together with Teleport, the Hydra, that kind of stuff. Yeah, and that's like, it's just not really convincing yet. Let's see if we have later. What do we have later here? This is a fire. This is a pit 140 here right now. With a fire ball of lightning. Do I see that correct? Fireball of lightning, correct? And he's not playing the soulstone to stack with kills. Interesting. Just putting down flame wall, meteors. It's pretty much the flame wall build, but fire skills. Ah, I see. I see. Because they changed that flame wall does only work with fire skills, and flame wall doesn't work anymore with all skills, right? And like literally, we still have flame wall build, yay! I guess. Chat, rejoice. So the same build from last season is still working this season. Somewhat. I guess. We had druid builds too. Firewall was horrible to play. Yeah, I agree, Phoenix. I never played Firewall. I played my damage over time Sork. So you have this one here, the damage over time Sork. Sadly, I only have it on Eternal, right? And the damage over time Sork was like, it could clear pit 120. Not super quick, but it could clear pit 120. And that damage over time Sork with the Lightning Storm, damage over time, did actually get a significant buff because it's double damage now. Right? That's quite nasty. You can like just do double damage. Oh, that's actually not the Sork I was looking for. Yeah, I reset her stats. But yeah, you can do double damage with her right now, and that's pretty nice. How do you think Shadow Warlock will do? You need to kill demons. If you find a way to effectively kill demons, then Shadow Warlock could do good. I mean, generally speaking, every Warlock build is going to do better with the Black Soul Shard, right? The Black Soul Shard is like, I don't know if you remember Season 1 of Hearthstone, Season 1 of Diablo. Season 1 of Diablo had one item. It was called a heart. They had hearts that you socketed in items. And these hearts were giving us so much more damage. It was insane. And these hearts were pretty much mandatory to play, right? There was no optional to maybe play them or eventually play them. No, you had to play them. And the Black Heart was multiplying up crit like there's no tomorrow. It was absolutely insane. Now we have the Black Splinter, again, the Black Soulstone here, and that one is also responsible for insane damage. The Barber Heart, exactly, the Barber Heart. So even, like, if you just kill enemies, this heart will be insane, right? It will be insane. Now, can we kill demons with Abyss skills? So sadly, the Dragclaws themselves, they don't count as demons. You could use your command Fallen, and you could have the meat shields rotating around you while you use Abyss skills to actually kill some demons frequently. So that would already work. Then you could use the Wall of Agony and kill your Wall of Agony dudes, or you could use the Tortured Wretches and kill them, kinda. You could use your Profane Sentinels, but the problem is that you want to keep them alive, so that wouldn't work. You can't kill them. You cannot kill the Abyssal Titan, you cannot kill the Abyssal Torrent, and you cannot kill the Abyssal Pit. The same as goes for the Abyssal Oppression, right? You cannot kill that one. Ruptured Abyss, also not a summon skill, so you're kind of running out of things to kill. What you could do is, you could play Terror Storm, right? Terror Storm. And Terror Storm says, Terror Storm spawns and instantly kills 3 lesser demons every second. So if I now go for this, so if we're going to pull all the points out of Apocalypse, right? Then I choose Terror Storm and kill demons right away. And then additional times per second. And Terror Storm starts smaller, weaker, but grows up to 3 times. Upon reaching maximum size, Swarms split off another smaller Swarm can have 2 3 active Swarms. Probably 3 active Swarms. Now the question is, does that work? Would this Terror Swarm splitting just work? Because if this counts towards, it should count towards the Black Soulstone, then you could make Abyss Guilds good too, right? So we're gonna spawn the Storm, and it counts as killing demons. It counts, see? And considering that this is up for quite some time, see, like now it splits. So look at that. So if I was now playing that was 80 stacks, right? 80 stacks without doing anything else, without killing anything. So just the Terror Storm is active, right? And it just keeps replenishing itself. So this is like permanently active right now. So I can make 100 stacks with the Terror Storm, and then I can kill enemies on top. So 100 stacks or 106 stacks is 500% more damage. So even if Abyss skills are not good per se, right? I could play now a Profane Sentinel build, and a Profane Sentinel build is actually really strong with the Sentinels. And then I could just use my Terror Storms to give me these demon summons on the side and have my Soulstone go bram. And this is like the interesting part. Do I think this is a bad game design? Honestly, I don't fucking care, because if this allows me now to play an Abyssal build, then that's smart of the player, right? I'm using game mechanics to get the most out of this Soulstone to have the most fun. Do other builds profit more from this? Absolutely, but could I still make it like a fun thingy? Could I still make a lot out of this? Yeah, I could. And I think that's cool, right? That's cool, because it would literally allow me to play an Abyss build in the end game. And that's cool. That's just cool. Now, do I assume the Black Soulstone will hit life like this? The problem is that the Black Soulstone is only this good for Warlock. So, should we now nerf the Black Soulstone? No. Should we make it that demons don't count? Should we make it that demons don't count towards the Black Soulstone? Probably. Can Blizzard do that in a short amount of time? I doubt it. Right? I mean, Blizzard isn't even able to fix a bug in a 3 months long season, so are we really expecting them to fix the Soulstone? We'll see. If not, play Warlock. Right? I mean, now we definitely do have to still look at the other classes as well. So this was me today throwing an eye on the Warlock, seeing what builds do actually work and what builds do something. Then if they fix Leoric, it's 10% more busted. Yes, so one thing that we have to look at, and that will maybe be even more insane, is the Crown of King Leoric. So, Leoric, by the way. Leoric? I don't know how to pronounce it. So what does the crown do? This item counts as jewelry, increase the effect of any gem. Technically, that would make this one twice as good. Right? So it would go from 5% per 130% to 10+% per. And I can have 1,000. I can have 200 stacks of this. So let's see. 200 stacks times 5 is 1,000, and 200 stacks times 11 is surprisingly 2,200. Leoric. Is it Leoric? So yeah, that's crazy. And I'm really excited to see. I mean, all of this, plus then a potential Season 15 actual mechanic. I'm fine. I'm fine. You know? That's only 22% increase. I know, right? Hello? It's not even that much. Good. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to wrap it up here. That was Warlock for today. We're going to prepare some different classes for tomorrow to see like how actually the others are doing, if they're going to profit, if there are new builds that we can play. Is there new things that we can do that would do well in Season 15 and or not? I'm going to make a list. We're going to try them all tomorrow. We're going to have a good fun day. It's going to be great. We're done though for today. So thank you for coming, watching, lurking, chatting. I'll be wrapping our Warlock findings together in a video to kind of talk a bit about the Black Soulstone to see what the community thinks, right? And I'm going to also talk about the new Temerity tag. What's the new Temerity tag using Life on Kill with Temerity, because that one is plenty OP. Can't wait for you to check out the video. Can't wait for you to see what we've been doing. Thank you very much for coming, watching, looking, chatting today. If you don't want to watch or play Beast of Reincarnation yourself, we get the full live stream up on that game. So 3 episodes from start to finish, full playthrough. Have an eye on that as well. Okay? I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.